Welcome to the Naugatuck Valley, an area rich in history with a diverse mix of compact former industrial centers, suburban residential communities, and small rural towns. The heart of the region is the Route 8 Expressway and the parallel Waterbury commuter rail line. The expressway connects the region to Bridgeport, the state's largest city, and from its interchange with I-84 to Hartford, the state's capital. The rail line links the region to business centers along the Connecticut Gold Coast as well as to the New York metropolitan area. Parts of the region have suffered economically over the years, and modernization of the Waterbury rail line is viewed as the catalyst to revitalization. The Connecticut Department of Transportation has invested more than $115 million in recent years to upgrade the rail line, including a new centralized signal system, positive train control, and passing sidings. Recently, 7 trips were added to the line, and design of high-level platforms is underway. These actions will go a long way to making the Waterbury rail line an attractive option for commuters. To take full advantage of these investments and make the rail line a catalyst for economic revitalization, the Waterbury Rail Working Group is proposing additional expansion of service, delivery of new rail equipment, and upgrades to station buildings and passenger amenities. Here's a look at our vision to turn the outdated Waterbury rail line into a state-of-the-art modern rail service. It begins with a fleet of new, modern rail cars, dual-powered locomotives, and more frequent service. This will be followed by new, well-lit, safe, and weather-protected stations with high-level platforms, canopies, well-defined parking areas, and various passenger amenities, as well as a new transfer station at the end of the Waterbury rail line to make seamless connections to mainline trains. Coupled with recent infrastructure and service upgrades, the plan envisions trains operating every 30 minutes during the morning and evening peak times, and every 60 minutes throughout the rest of the day. So, let's take a trip on the new, reimagined Waterbury rail line starting at the Waterbury Station. Located next to the downtown area, government offices, the Freight Street redevelopment zone, and planned TOD projects, the renovated station will become the hub for commuter travel in Waterbury, with connections with CT Fast Track service, express buses, and local bus routes. Next stop, Naugatuck. The station will be relocated south of its current location to take advantage of vacant parcels primed for new high-density, mixed-use transit-oriented developments. The CTDOT is already at work on design plans for a new Naugatuck station. At Seymour and Beacon Falls, the stations will be closed and consolidated at a new location between the current stops on the site of a planned private development just north of the Seymour downtown area. This development is intended to create a vibrant TOD community with high-density housing, retail, commercial offices, open space, and healthcare. The new development will also have good linkages to the existing downtowns in both communities. The new train station will leverage private investment, be a critical anchor, and serve as a catalyst for the project's success. A new station will be constructed at Ansonia, and walkable connections will be provided to the nearby downtown. The Derby-Shelton train station is unique in that it serves 2 downtowns, both within a half-mile of the station. The CTDOT was awarded a RAISE grant from the U.S. DOT to renovate the station area and convert it to a true TOD environment and multimodal transfer center. Its historic station building will be restored, high-level platforms installed, bus space added, and seamless pedestrian connections will be created to connect the station to planned mixed-use developments south of the station and existing and planned high-density residential buildings across the river in Shelton. The state has committed to fully fund these improvements. Opportunities exist for other TOD projects on the east side of the tracks that will further enhance the Derby-Shelton station as a key origin and destination stop and important transfer station. The Derby-Shelton station is the last stop on the WRL. The line joins the main line at the Devon Y and continues to Bridgeport along the New Haven main line, which is one of the most active and busiest rail corridors in the country. Today, it operates close to capacity, and it is a challenge to add new service. Even with a substantial increase in WRL train trips, it may not be possible to accommodate the additional trains on the main line. A possible viable option is to create a permanent transfer station to link the WRL to the main line. A potential location for such a transfer station could be within the Devon Y. Instead of adding trains to the main line, WRL trains would stop at Devon and interconnected platforms would permit passengers to transfer to a mainline train. Service would be timed to meet most mainline trains in both directions. This is a longer-term action and one that requires more study and assessment to determine the optimal location, but it would be a way of providing more frequent service on the WRL and more access to the main line, as well as a direct line connection to New Haven. These enhancements will create a modern, state-of-the-art, and attractive commuter rail system that will help transform the Naugatuck Valley and provide a viable commuter option to residents traveling to the southwestern part of Connecticut. In conjunction with these improvements, the long-term vision is to connect the region to all parts of the state by affordable, convenient, and effective transit. This bold concept envisions connecting the region via an expansive bus rapid transit network to New Britain and Hartford along an extended CT Fast Track busway, to Danbury to the west along an I-84 BRT, and to Bridgeport from Derby along a Route 8 BRT. The first link in this multi-directional concept is the Route 8 BRT. The Route 8 corridor between Derby and Bridgeport is currently underserved by transit. The Route 8 BRT would fill this gap and would provide a travel alternative while creating a more direct connection to Bridgeport. The main goal is to provide public transit service for commuters traveling south in the Naugatuck Valley region to large employment centers along Route 8 and I-95. One priority area is the Bridgeport Avenue corridor in Shelton. Home to over 20 multi-story office buildings with over 3 million square feet of office space, numerous light manufacturing facilities, hotels, retail shopping plazas, and about 950 residential units in high-density settings. This 3.5-mile corridor has the largest concentration of corporate offices in the region. Over 12,000 commuters make a daily trip to the area, yet transit opportunities are limited, especially for those living north of the area. With almost all trips made by car, the Route 8 BRT concept is envisioned as a worthwhile option and a complement to rail service. It would not be implemented in the short term. More planning and study is still needed, but it is a viable system that may be the answer to future transportation problems within the corridor, including avoiding major investments to expanded highway capacity to address increasing traffic congestion. The preliminary concept starts at the Derby-Shelton station. Dedicated bus lanes will be built within the median of Route 8 and, using smart technology and combining the experience of rail with the cost-effectiveness of express bus, the Route 8 BRT will service transit-supportive and oriented land uses that are located within the corridor and would be built around a transit hub. Feeder bus service will be provided for the last mile to the various corporate offices scattered throughout the area. The BRT would continue along the busway and make stops at other corporate office parks in Trumbull and Bridgeport before its final stop at the Bridgeport Transportation Center and connection to Metro-North commuter rail service. These enhancements to the way residents not only use but live and work around transit can help spur development and revitalize the Naugatuck Valley towards a transit-oriented future.